My name's Bert Langell. I've been in the insurance business, I guess probably about 30 years, and for 20 of those years I specialized in insuring engineering and architectural firms, which was a lot of fun and a real education for me. I learned from my clients, I learned from the experience of claims, I learned from the insurers I worked with, claims managers. There was always something new. Construction is very complex. Design is something that's evolving. So anyway, this afternoon I'd like to speak about professional liability issues, and this will be the first of a continuous series of video blogs on the subject. So as I said, my name's Bert Langell, and I'm extremely experienced in professional liability insurance and claims that arise from professional activities. So what is professional liability? It is liability, which is indemnity or responsibility for actions of design professionals when they're providing a professional service. So as a design professional, you might be going to a site and have a car accident. Well, that's an auto insurance, and it may come out of your general liability insurance also, under your non-owned auto coverage. Anyway, I won't get too engaged in that. But also, somebody might go to your office and fall on a step or something, or you didn't get the ice and snow off your sidewalk, your steps, and that would be a general claim. It's got nothing to do with your professional services. So why is it critical? I've had done work with clients who hadn't carried professional liability and had to go bankrupt because they were sued over a construction project. Construction is very complex, and when things go wrong, the losses can be very high. So, and I mean, when we have a car accident, what's the first thing we think about? Well, why is the other party responsible? And that's just human nature. And that's what happens when there's a large loss on a construction project. Be it a delay, or be it something that just doesn't work the way the owner expected it to work, an accident on the site, cost overrun, roof falls in after the project's completed, water egress through the walls. We all know how many things can go wrong on a project. So, and construction is very fast. The owner has expectations. The contractor has expectations and ideas about what's being built and how it's being built. And the designer has expectations. And miscommunication and misunderstanding can bring about big issues. So it's professional liability is critical. And where is help? Who do you go to about these issues? Your insurance broker, who should be somebody who specializes in professional liability for engineering and architectural firms. It is a complex type of insurance. It is what we call a claims-made policy. So it covers you when the claim is made. There's a lot of exclusions that apply to this type of coverage and terms and conditions. It's not just general insurance practice, so I highly recommend that you work with a specialist and you find out who else they're insuring and how many years they've been active and how supportive of their clients were they when they had problems. I often went to my clients and asked them if they would call a prospective client and let them know what I was about. Anyhow, so associations, there's a lot of help in contract, peer review, just discussions on professional liability from your professional associations, your legal counsel. They can help you with your contracts. And just because an association contract should not be just used as the full document, it has to be adapted to each project. Your peers. These problems have probably occurred with somebody else in the past, and it's just talk to other professionals about what their experience has been. And the question is, when should you start carrying professional liability? First of all, not all firms carry professional liability. Some firms can't buy liability insurance. Some people feel that their practice is so good that they won't have a claim. I had very few clients that didn't have some kind of claim issue over 20 years. Some firms may set aside money to cover their issue, or you may set aside X amount of money and have a contract with your clients that states that your limit of liability is the amount that you've set aside. Unless professional liability insurance is more than you can possibly pay for, I recommend transferring your risk to an insurance company, and also using limitation of liability, perhaps a set amount, $100,000, $500,000, or the amount of your per claim limit on your policy. Some sort of limit that limits your exposure to the value that you're giving in the project. Why should you receive perhaps 1% of the construction value and be liable for 100% of the risk? So be proactive. Handle this before the problem arises. It's too late at that point. As I said, it's claims made insurance, so you're not going to get coverage after you know that there's an issue. So I've covered how it can be managed, how professional liability can be managed. Briefly spoke about who I am, what professional liability is, who can be your advisors on this, and when it should be managed, which is right now. In future videos, I'll talk about in detail about insurance coverage and terms, exclusions. We'll discuss design contracts, issues such as design build, limit of liability, change orders, requests for information, what to do when the roof falls in. That's bad. Delay claims, how to manage from a risk standpoint a large project, communications, note-taking, a number of topics that I feel will be helpful to your practice. Anyway, thanks for listening to me.